Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day and welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian Fishing Podcast, episode 165. Dizzy, how you going?
Good, mate. It's great to be here with you at episode 165. A little bit better now that I've cracked the lid on that frothy that we're just enjoying as we record tonight's episode. And it's a good one, Rhodey. It's a real good one.
It is, Dizzy. We've got another repeat guest, but it's a bloody big name. Jet Worsteling from IFish fame.
Huge name in the fishing industry. Absolute gun, been doing the damage on the fishing lately.
Oh, how good. Like, I don't know whether, 10 years ago, if you said to me, if you're going to move somewhere to go like fishing all the time, you would have said, Cairns or Gold Coast and go get Marlin, or Darwin and go to Barra.
Yeah.
Tassie is becoming a bit of a hotspot.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So many options over there. A lot of inshore stuff, as you'll hear later. A lot of offshore stuff, of course. Short run to the shelf.
Yes, and they've been smashing it, and oh my God, they live such a good life, don't they? They're heading over to America now.
I know, amazing. You probably just got to pick your weather over there.
Oh, Tassie?
Yeah,
to get cold. You need a good jacket.
Be cold and be nasty. Get some nasty weather. But very much looking forward to having a chat with him later. Let's get stuck into oranges and lemons before we do, Rhodey. What's your orange?
Dizzy, I have luckily just kicked off 11 weeks of parental leave.
Gold, mate.
And then I got another block coming. So I am looking good for some time off, which is ideal. I do have to do some parenting, but I think you can parent on a boat. Yeah,
I was just about to say, I think, doesn't take much for a kid to stand there with a hose while you sort of top to bottom polish the boat for us. Riley can just stand there with a hose and wash down your bits that you've scrubbed. So that'll be good.
Me and Riley did actually have a little play in the boat for part of our parental leave day one, so that was fun.
Happy days. Very good. Well, my orange is the showdown win, mate.
Oh, good one. Yeah, good one. It was bloody good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I caught up with a few people for a beer. Just bumped into them, actually, as we were walking in. We thought, we've probably got time to squeeze one in, and all Port supporters, and we all said, so what do you reckon? If we lose by less than 5 goals, this will be a good result for the pair. I don't think any one of us had them winning. No,
well, I was there and I didn't get an invite to this pre-game beer, so that must have been really exclusive.
But you wouldn't have had us winning. You would have been. Everyone was optimistic.
Do you want to know my honest statement on the way into the ground?
Oh, God, here we go.
I said it's either one goal either direction, like Port win by a goal, Crows win by a goal, or the Crows win by 80.
Oh, right. There you go.
I thought either it's a blowout or it's a 50-50 under a kick either way. But Port won by 4 goals. That was outside my prediction.
There you go. So and probably should have won by 10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easily should have won by more.
Horrible kicking. Anyway.
It's a bit like that Geelong game. They should have won by more too.
Yeah, that's true. Lemon.
Dizzy, it really feels wintry at the moment, doesn't it?
Oh, we've just the weekend weather was beautiful.
Yeah, but even the weekend, it was bloody cold first thing in the morning.
It was freezing in the mornings, but man, it was nice when that sun came up.
And the days are short.
We had the winter solstice
we've just
last
had
week.
it, I think, but we are in the peak of winter. Like it's pretty tough going some of those early mornings.
Yeah, pretty tough going. Sounds like some first world problems, doesn't it? But yeah, no, it's cold.
Mate, I'm going to try and run 30K tomorrow, and I'm going to frostbite by 15.
Gee whiz. Wow, huge.
It's hard to get the miles in the legs this time of year.
Yeah, fair enough. Sounds good. Well, my lemon is not being able to find a day to get down and try and chase these barrels, mate.
It just doesn't seem to line up for us, does it?
Oh, I know. We've really, I think there'd be a fair few listeners out there kind of going, you blokes are the greatest people at coming up with excuses for why you don't go fishing. But this one, the moment we saw it, we were both like, right, this is it. This is our chance. We've got to do it. Let's find a day. Let's make it happen. But we just haven't been able to. I mean, admittedly, to kind of go anywhere near them, we're going to need absolute glamour weather, which we haven't had a lot
Certainly
of.
in our boat we are, or in any boat really.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll keep working on that. But certainly that's my lemon. Seeing some more people get them, thinking, geez, they're close.
The good thing is they've stuck around. Like there was a bad patch of weather and they were still there at the end of it. So that's a positive.
Good call. All right, Rhodey, we've not really got a hell of a lot to update on the social media front of late, have we?
No, I did actually get a little bit of feedback about my wader situation that I shared with the listeners.
Yes, we did see that, didn't we? What's the verdict there? Neoprene glue?
Yeah, I think a little neoprene patch and a bit of a glue job would be worth...
It's probably a free hit, really.
Well, that's exactly right. And to be fair, like when I use them, my waders are great.
Yeah.
But you're not using them that often.
Nah.
You only use them for 3 or 4 months in the middle of winter. And even then, like it's not really when you're doing most of your fishing. And it's only really if you do need to get the boat on and off the mooring and things like that. So
yeah,
for the sake of it, I reckon I'll give them a repair job first.
Yeah. Good call. All right, well, let's get stuck into the news then.
Rhodey and Diz have been searching far and wide to bring you the latest news across all fishing in the state, and will give you the rundown on what you need to know.
This is a bit of a follow-up sort of update for the listeners out there about the cuttlefish out of Whyalla. Last time we talked about whether there was going to be a fee for getting access to the area where people go down to the water. But this time we've got a bit more of a different update, haven't we, Rhodey, on cuttlefish numbers?
Well, it's been a funny one, Dizzy, because when I first put this in the news, like we keep a bit of a document running in the 2 weeks between episodes, and I first put it on, and it was that that they were a no-show basically, and the tours were getting cancelled, and it was all quite negative. But we've had a turn in fortune, Diz, and they might have shown up.
Yeah, just needed to run a bit of a story on them not showing up to encourage them to show up.
Exactly right, Dizzy. And there was a post, I think it was the guy who ran the dive shop or one of that. What was it? I think it's called Spencer Golf Adventures. I think it's called, the company Diz. I'm just getting it up here now as we're talking. And he put up a post after so much negativity around it, eventually saying they have made it.
Yeah, right.
They pretty much went from there one day to not there one day to there the next. And he saw them breeding. I think that was on, it was just over the weekend, maybe Saturday or Sunday. But very recently they've turned up, and it was 1 day ago. So it must have been Sunday, I reckon he put that post up. And his theory was, like, he put up a bit of a video saying why he thought they hadn't shown yet and why they've just arrived all of a sudden. He's a Whyalla local. He reckons the season's been getting 1 week later each year. And that would probably be true with a lot of other things, Dizzy. Don't you reckon the tuna used to rock up in December, now they're rocking up in January?
Yeah, well, we've got heaps of sort of memories of us taking our boat out pre-Christmas.
Yeah.
Get tuna off.
And now it's like mid-January or after New Year's. So anyway, that was his theory, that it took a little bit cooler water and it was sort of getting later as the year went on, and he said he had a good day looking for them on Sunday. So there's finally some optimism about these cuttlefish, Diz.
Happy days. That's good news, because it is a very valuable, it's an icon of the state, to be honest, but certainly keeps the divers very happy. So I'm sure that they'll start picking up some momentum from there. What else have we got, Rhodey?
Dizzy, this is an interesting one here, and this is one of those. It's a speed camera with the face on it.
Yeah,
you know that you drive past and it says
smiles if you're going the right.
If you're
speed
going
limit.
40, you get a smiley face.
Frowns.
If you're going 50, you get a frowny face. They're rolling them out.
Is there a face in between, like a little bit over?
Not sure. I'm a law-abiding citizen, so I always get the smiley face.
Yeah, I just can't recall getting any other face, but you never know.
But anyway, Dizzy, they have rolled these out in the ocean.
Okay.
For the boats.
Wow.
And it's given a significant improvement in compliance at North Haven and St Kilda. And there's another one going in within the Lincoln Cove Marina.
What do you think? A lot of people are just burning through the marina. Yeah,
well, apparently 30% less people are exceeding the speed limit.
Wow.
Since the signs have been rolled out. So it's interesting, Dizzy, and I think largely this is about the dolphins.
Right.
protecting the dolphins.
Keep your speed down.
Yeah. So the average speed
Don't
of
hit a
operators
dolphin.
approaching the camera at St Kilda has fallen by 30%, while vessels at North Haven have slowed by nearly 15%. And I haven't been past this one in the boat, Dizzy, but it looks here like it doesn't actually tell you what number of knots you're doing. All it gives you is a smiley face or a frowny face.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So it's a bit more basic than the...
I would have probably liked a little bit more feedback than that.
Yeah, anyway.
Because then you could have a bit of a competition with yourself, like how close can you get it to perfectly full
Can I get it to 3.99 knots?
Yeah, can I get a 3.99 or can I get a 4, but I never want to see a 5 on there. Anyway, bit of feedback for them. Maybe they can sort that out for the next iteration, because by the sounds of things, if we're getting boat cameras on the water, mate, next minute you won't be able to use your mobile phone on the water.
Oh, mate.
Is that a wild shit?
Well...
Mobile phone driving on a boat?
Hard to police.
Hard to police. And just a question for the punters out there. How many people have hit a dolphin, like, while going through a marina? I mean, I get why you slow down in marinas for a whole range of different reasons, but, you know, I would have thought that dolphins would be getting out of the way, you know, at most speeds.
Yeah, I've always thought dolphins are quite speedy creatures.
They're pretty nimble individuals. Yeah. But anyway, that was a bit of a diversion there, Rhodey. What else have we got? We've got a big, this is a horrible story, isn't it? Big kingfish death.
Yeah, Dizzy, this one made, I think it was Channel 9 News that this one
Did, yeah.
This one made, and I think it was 50 tonne, did I read?
Yeah. Yeah. It was huge numbers.
Which is a hell of a lot of kingfish. And I think the company, was it Yamba? Yamba, I think it's called.
Yep.
And they put it down to a low oxygen levels. Could be caused by the algal bloom.
Deary me.
So, yes, there has been high numbers of algal bloom counts in Port Lincoln over the last few weeks. It hasn't really, apart from this one, kicked off seem to have resulted in significant fish deaths along the coast.
Okay.
But hopefully this isn't the start of what's to come.
Yeah, I hope not, Rhodey. We'll watch this one closely like we always do and keep you listeners out there up to date. But we did talk about this a lot, that we had fears that we just did not want it to go. No one wants it anywhere, right? Of course. But in such an iconic part of the world, in fact, as Port Lincoln is for fishing and the seafood industry at large, just let's hope for a good result there and that the algal bloom moves on and doesn't cause any chaos down there. And
I'm reading a quote here from David Wood, who's the CEO of Yamba Aquaculture, which says a period of minimal tidal movement, low wind and higher algal presence.
Okay.
So that's putting it partly down to the algae, not fully, the way I read that.
Okay, fair enough. Next one's a bit of a bird flu update.
Yeah, do you remember we had Faith Coleman on the podcast a year ago?
Yeah.
18 months ago, and she was talking about it then. Do you remember that? She mentioned it.
Did she?
I'm 99% sure that Faith Coleman, unless that was a private conversation, but I think it was on the podcast.
Wow.
And I think she mentioned that was a threat to the Coorong at that point in time. So it has been something that they've been aware of for a long, long time.
Like because of what was developing around the world?
Yes, because up until now, Australia was the only continent not to have any bird flu.
Right.
So it's sort of been coming, and we know these birds they fly from Europe to Australia, so they're always going to spread it at some points.
Yeah.
And maybe we dodged a bullet up until now.
Yeah.
But it's hit mainland Australia. It's been on some island that is part of an Australian territory. It's called Heard Island. Do you know where that is?
No.
It's like halfway between Africa, Australia, and Antarctica. But it's an Australian territory, and it wiped out heaps of seals.
Can you be
there.
halfway between 3 different places at once?
Yeah, if there's 3 points on a circle and you bang in the middle of the circle, you're
halfway between as many as you want. I just didn't know what other country you were throwing in the mix then. That's a serious fact of geometry for you there. It's impressive that they can fly that far.
Oh, good flies.
I'm astounded how far they can fly. I reckon you need to get the wind right for that.
I think they fly the direction that the wind helps them at particular times of year. Gets the prevailing winds behind them.
You'd hate for just a strong headwind if you were departing Antarctica en route to Australia. You'd hate it.
So anyway, Dizzy, this has got potential to be quite nasty for the chicken industry in particular, Diz, the eggs.
Yeah, we shouldn't laugh about it because it's actually really bad. And, I hope this gets under control because there would be a lot of people, whether it's chickens, whether it's, really important wildlife parts of the state like the Coorong and others, that we really don't want this to take hold.
And I think the Australian sea lions, I think there's 12,000 of them estimated to be left in the wild. And there is concerns that it could put a big dent in that number if it took off. So it can get into mammals.
What? So because the seals eat the birds or something?
Well, I don't know if they eat them, just that they come in contact with them. So humans can get it too.
Yeah.
But generally it's only spread from bird to human, not human to human. So you're only really at risk if you pick up a dead one or come in contact with an unwell one.
Yeah, okay.
I think at the moment they don't think it's like I wouldn't spread it to you.
Yeah, okay.
But maybe in seals or
you do carry on like a little bit of a pelican sometimes, so some people could suggest he might be a bird. But
maybe just the seals come in contact with a lot of birds because they share an environment, I suppose.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? But, the effects would be far-reaching, and we certainly hope things get under control. But it's probably another one of those things. What are they going to do? They can't stop birds from flying around the place.
No. Can
they?
No. And I think that just the advice is to look from afar, report the bird if you see a sick bird, but don't touch it.
Yeah, I wonder if it gets into the common seagull or the common pigeon.
Well, you reckon we wipe out a few of those more annoying bird species?
No, but I'm just thinking like they are birds that humans come in relatively close contact with. You might be down at the foreshore at Glenelg having a nice feed of fish and chips, and a couple of crook seagulls come over looking at you for a chip.
Yeah, fair.
It happens.
Anyway, fingers crossed for the chicken farms in particular.
Definitely. Rhodey, the reef modules, we've talked about this, so that was part of the state government's initiative to sort of support the industry at large and the rec fishing community and the wildlife and everything in their recovery from the algal bloom. These have been deployed. The reef modules, one's off KI and one is off Whyalla.
Yeah, I think we covered that one last time, but since then the Nepean Bay KI one's in.
Yeah.
And RecFish has a pretty good video on their Facebook page of some of the logistics and what went on with those that were sort of watching on from afar at the McMahon's crew craning the structures into the water to deploy them. And there's also another video here, Dizzy, of the Seawolves Dive Club. So they've kicked off their citizen science monitoring of the new artificial reef at Whyalla Cove. So the second one's in the water, and the first one they've done some diving on it and had a good look. And it looks pretty cool. It looks like they're all sitting upright. They are spread over quite a wide, vast area, Diz. So hopefully that just becomes really fishy, that whole structure.
Yeah, good call. All right, juicy news segment, Rhodey.
Certainly is, Dizzy.
Plenty to chill on there.
There was, I was going to say it was all negative, but I think the cuttlefish was positive.
Yeah, I think the reef module was relatively positive too, though.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe good at the start and end and a bit average in the middle.
Yeah, something negative for everything there. All right, let's get into tackle item of the week.
Now it's time for Rhodey and Diz to really show you what it means to have all the gear with a lot of idea as they review a tackle item of the week.
We're diving into a tackle item this week that all you successful fishers out there will know the importance of this in the toolkit, so to speak, because you might have had a long day out there on the water, you've caught yourself a feed, you get back to the boat ramp, quick wash down of the boat, back to the house or wherever you're staying, and what do you want to do then? Of course you want to crack a frothy, but while you're cracking that frothy and enjoying it, you'll often need to fillet some fish. And there's nothing more annoying when you're filleting your fish than a blunt knife, is there, Rhodey?
Certainly isn't, Diz.
What's
the solution?
We're talking about the Kimbo roller. Not even sponsored.
No. I just bought one.
Did you?
Only because you banged on about it so much. You said how good it was, so I had to get one.
I got given one, and it's fantastic. Even an idiot like me can use it and get a sharp knife out of this, and
So-
they're good. Rate them.
I just bought one. They're on the end of financial year sales, Dizzy. I'm looking at it right here. It's $89.95. It's normally $294.95.
Did you get a knife with it or something, or no?
Nah, there's an ultimate set. You
I was gonna
can.
say, I'm pretty sure I saw some deal recently that came with a knife, but I didn't need a knife.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a knife, to be honest with you. And I got given it, but
So tell us how it works, Diz. Well, how's it different to your sort of run-of-the-mill sharpener?
well, in essence, the rolling component of it, which is a bit like a rolling pin, but it's got two different sort of levels of abrasion, if you like, on either end of it. And then there's a magnetic kind of component to it as well that you stick the knife to. So depending on what type of knife it is, depends on which side you use, because one has more of a angle and one has less of an angle. But basically you attach the knife to the right side, and then you essentially just use the roller and you just glide it up and down and up and down and up and down. And the way that it's designed, it really does track nicely. Straight up and back, straight up and back. And you probably give it about 10 passes. And then you turn it over, you do the other side. And then with the finer abrasive side at the end, you just roll it over just to get that really nice, fine, sharp edge on it. Of course, after that, you want to just give it a good clean, get a little bit of those, a little bit of metal fragments off the end of it, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah, Diz, I'm actually looking at it here. So there's a 15 and a 20 degree angle
Yes.
on each end. So you're using a 15 degree sharpening angle on a really fine edge for like your precision cutting, it says here.
That'd be for your filleting.
Yep. And then the 20 degree angle is more for your Western style knives, which are made from softer steel for everyday cooking.
Nice.
So I haven't used it, as I said, but you and a mate were banging on about it like it was the best thing since sliced bread, and then it popped up on an end of financial year sale, and I jumped out at this. I thought we'd share that one. And have you found it makes a difference to your filleting, Diz?
Yeah, I do. I think, honestly, there is nothing worse when you're filleting fish and you get a blunt knife.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier when you've got a sharp knife. And if you're doing a lot, like you might have bagged out, you've got a few, you're probably going to have to, maybe go halfway, give it a bit of a touch up, sharpen it up. And this device just makes it really easy. There's no I've seen, my old man had one where you had to pull it out, you had to clamp something down onto the bench, you had to put a bit of oil on the thing, and then you had to get the angle right. And it was just, you needed a degree in knife sharpening to use it.
And the theory of a lot of those sharpening devices that they've had in the past is they're only effective if you keep it at the same angle every time.
Yes.
Whereas this locks that in that you're guaranteed basically to be at the right angle.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are some absolute knife gurus that still like doing it the old-fashioned way.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But for your everyday punter, like you and I, it's probably not a bad option, Diz.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I tend to agree, mate. It's a great option.
All right, Dizzy, that's a good tackle item of the week. I'd say at the moment we're not catching enough fish to worry too much about filleting them, but our luck will change.
Yeah, it sure will. And our next guest certainly would be doing plenty of filleting fish because he knows how to find them time and time again, whether you're offshore chasing swords, marlin, or you're inshore just throwing some soft plastics or hard bodies around for flatties. Our guest who are about to get on the line knows how to do it all. Let's get him on the phone, Roddy.
Now it's time to get our guest on the line. We'll ask them the all-important 5 questions, then chat all things fishing in SA.
All right, Dizzy, we are very lucky to be joined again by Jet Worsteling. He's the new face of IFish. Can we call you that, Jet?
Oh, I reckon I've always been the face of IFish.
I was going to say, I always reckon you sort of, you've been on the show for a long time, always been a seriously keen angler. And as I said to you before we jumped on the show, mate, I've always been very jealous and, you just must absolutely love it, mate. So much fishing. How's it been going for you recently?
It's been going really good, and I've finished school now, so doing a lot more fishing and a lot more work with the show. And yeah, I'm incredibly fortunate, but it's an incredible lifestyle to live.
Very good. Now, Jet, we normally ask all our guests sort of 5 sort of background questions, and we asked you them back in episode 108 in April 2024. So we're not going to do that again, but we are going to say the last 2 years, any particular big fish that stands out?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think early this summer, me and Dad, or late this summer actually, but early this season, me and Dad, just me and him by ourselves, landed a probably 200 to 220 kilo sword just by ourselves. Oh. And fishing 2 up with your old boy and catching a fish of that size it's all, like, the fish is incredible, but the moment too and the experience is pretty hard to beat. So I reckon that's the one. And overall in all the fishing I've done, it's probably one of the coolest captures I've ever had.
Yeah, wow. We've certainly been following you on the socials, and that that east coast of Tassie where you do a fair bit of your fishing, that's had an unbelievable season, hasn't it?
It's been incredible. Obviously, I haven't been around to see it when it used to be good as well, but it's definitely the best I've ever seen it. Like Marlin, yellowfin, bluefin, and swordfish all within 2 to 3 kilometres of each other, and probably as good as it gets in Australia when it was at its peak. So, yeah, hard to complain with. And if it gets better, it's going to be a crazy and scary good fishery. And
did you knock all 4 of those species off in one day just about, or pretty close?
We did 3 in a day, which was, we did a swordfish first drop of the morning, put the lures out, scored a Tassie yellowfin, and then kept the lures out and scored a Tassie striped marlin, which
so cool.
Was definitely the first to ever happen in Tasmania in a trailer boat. And we're pretty sure it's the first time it's ever happened in Australia in a trailer boat, getting those 3 species in a day. But we could be wrong.
Have you officially left Victoria and you're just living in Tassie full time now, or what's the go?
Honestly, over the summer game fishing season, I was just living in Tassie. I didn't want to come home.
Change your driver's license, get the post redirected.
That's exactly right. I'm living down there, but then as soon as that season ended, I had to come back home, and I was absolutely devo.
Very good. Now, congratulations on all that success. We do want to touch on some of the stuff you've been doing over here in South Australia. You came over, when was that? End of summer, you came over and did a bit of fishing with the IFish crew, your dad and others. You went out with Jamie Crawford, I think, over at Port Lincoln. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. In early March, we went over and seen Jamie in Port Lincoln in Coffin Bay, and it was a wicked experience. Did a heap of fishing, and it was cool to see the place once again.
And you caught a real variety of species. You did a bit of everything.
Yeah, we started off offshore on the first day and then worked our way in doing that sort of deeper estuary stuff right up into the shallows and even catching crabs at the end. So it was cool to see literally just about everything that Coffin Bay and Port Lincoln had to offer.
And tell us a bit behind the scenes of filming a show such as IFish. Like, how many days of filming is that? And then how many episodes does that produce? Like, how does that all happen?
Oh, well, obviously we're looking to get as many episodes as quickly as possible for a efficiency point of view. But I think that trip we done, I want to say 3 or 4 full days fishing and got 3 or 4 full episodes, which is really good going. Getting a whole episode on something completely new every day, which is what we aim for.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's a wonderful, it's a fishing mecca, certainly for South Australia anyway, down in the Eyre Peninsula. But Port Lincoln, Coffin Bay always has something to offer. We were actually fishing there in the middle of March for the Port Lincoln Tuna Comp, which was a little bit different to last year because there certainly weren't as many tuna floating around, but it was just so lovely to be down there again offshore. A lot of people that we were fishing with got heaps of sambos out offshore. Yeah. So, I'm sure you got to see all that the Eyre Peninsula has to offer.
Yeah, and more. Like, I hadn't been there in a fair while, and I actually forgot how much it had to offer. And going offshore that first day, we had as good a weather as you can hope for down there, 0 knots and like 2 meters of just rolly swell. But it just made me want to go back and do the other stuff that we didn't get a chance to do, like go chase big sambos, go find big blue groper, all this sort of South Australian stuff that I haven't really done before. But pretty cool place.
And probably that is one of the places that here in South Australia we'd say is, the peak of our sort of fishing locations. How would you compare that to other places around Australia you've been to?
I reckon it's almost unique in a way. It reminds me of Tassie, where it's sort of that bit more rugged, bit more remote, everything's a bit untouched. But then, because you've got your species like your blue groper, your sambos, it's almost fully isolated, like its own thing. And I think that's quite appealing, that you can go there and catch fish that aren't everywhere around the country. So I think that's pretty cool that you've got some of your keystone species there.
And you'll just have to sort of teach the locals down there how to go out off the shelf and catch some swords, because I know that's a bit of a sort of dream for a lot of the people down there that are just sort of pushing the boundaries, particularly for trailer boats. It's a long way for them to get out to the shelf there, but I reckon when somebody cracks the code and gets a sword out of fishing out of Lincoln, they'll be pretty chuffed.
Oh, I was actually saying to Jamie, I was asking him questions, how many times have you been to the shelf? And he'd never been because it was 100 and something stupid kilometres.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, I want to try. I want to go to the shelf out here. There must be some good ground. So
there's a few that have done it. It has been done, I reckon, hasn't it?
I think it's been. I think I saw a guy's done it once or twice out of Lincoln.
Yeah, I reckon we tried to get him on the podcast, and as you can probably understand, he was probably keeping his secrets pretty close to his chest.
Yeah, I reckon. But no, I was actually looking when I was there, and I'm like, this is definitely a thing, and I want to do it. But in Tassie, we've got a 24-kilometre run to the shelf.
So cool. Wow. Yeah.
So it is hard to leave that and do a 150-kilometre run for a swordfish.
Yeah. All right. Now, Jet, tell us about one of your other passions in fishing. You came over and presented at one of these RecFish SA forums that we've been running in here in South Australia, and you talked about some of your key secrets to catching big flathead, and that's sort of the time of year we're in South Australia at the moment. Plenty of big flathead being caught. Tell us about that talk and give us a few secrets.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to be invited over by the boys from RecFish, and it was a wicked experience. Had a heap of people turn up to try and learn about some flathead, which was pretty cool. I was happy that people actually wanted to hear from my advice about flathead fishing, but they're probably one of my favourite fish to catch back here in Victoria because I do a lot of it throughout the summer. And I think flathead are one of those fish that we often overlook because they're just a simple flathead. But when you actually chase them properly and then try and catch and chase bigger flathead, I think they're actually quite a cool fish. But no, it's cool to share some secrets, if you will. Just a few tips and tricks, but I hope some people gain something out of it.
And what's your biggest flathead? I've seen some monster fish you've caught.
My biggest one is 93, I believe.
Oh, it's getting pretty close to a metre there, Jet.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, our Victorian fish, because we are the coldest dusky flathead fishery in the country, down the most south, they don't grow as quick as all the other fish in New South Wales and southern Queensland.
Yeah.
So we don't actually get the really long fish. But because a fish that's 90 here is probably the same age as a 105 in New South Wales, they're really fat. Yeah, so our flathead here they're built more like a two-pong in a way, like actually round.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because I've caught big ones in New South Wales, but you come down to Victoria and you get like even an 85 and they're genuinely twice the weight. Like we get a 90 in Vic and I reckon it would be a good condition one to be over 6 kilos.
Yeah. Well, I suppose
crazy.
In a way, catching 93 as your PB is perfect because it gives you a reason to keep going back.
That's exactly right. It's always that elusive chase for the metre flathead.
And tell us, Jet, you're mostly fishing with soft plastics or some hard bodies or a bit of both?
99% of my flathead fishing is all with topwater hard bodies.
Yeah, cool. Nice. That's good.
Normally diving surface hard bodies, so stuff that'll rise to the top very quickly and normally get eaten on that rise, but stuff that sits on the surface really gets their attention. They can see it from a long way away because it's up higher in the water column, and I just feel for some reason it's a lot easier to get them to come off the bottom than charge along the bottom. However, you would think the opposite for a flathead, but they actually do love to get airborne.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that's certainly a hot tip, and thank you for sharing that with the listeners, mate. Now, I'm just going to change tune here a bit because you said you finished school, doing plenty of fishing. You must be getting a fair few hours on those motors on the back of the boat.
Yep, especially when we go sword fishing because you go early in the morning, you don't turn them off all day. So say you leave at 6 in the morning, get back at 5. It's 11 hours on the engines. But no, it's definitely not healthy, but at least they're running better than sitting in the shed, I reckon.
Absolutely, and it's a absolute weapon of a boat. Tell us about it, mate. We see a fair bit of it on the socials, but perfect platform for you to be able to get out wide, but no doubt do a lot of inshore, bay stuff in Victoria as well.
Yeah, so we've got the little centre console as well as the black one, and the centre console, it's a 6 metre boat, but that's the boat I do all my flathead fishing in say 30 to 40 centimetres of water. So push it right to its limits, and then also caught marlin and big tuna out of it as well. So take it to the shelf on those rough days, but it's pretty cool having a boat you can do near about everything in because I don't think there's such thing as a perfect boat, but a boat that you can do almost anything in is about as good as you can get.
Very good. Now, Jet, tell us a bit about the IFish show. It's been going for a bloody long time now. How many episodes are you guys up to?
I'm actually not sure, but I remember hitting 500, I want to say, over 5 years ago. So I reckon it would have to be. Wow. I remember 500, the milestone. So if I had to put my money on it, I'd say close to 700.
And I remember you being on that show when you were like, I don't know, 3 or 4. Like you were bloody small. Like you're a little kid and your dad was dragging you out. How many times do you reckon you've been on it?
Oh, that's a good question. I reckon when I was in primary school a lot, I reckon I would have been on 20 to 40 episodes.
Yeah.
Because school wasn't as important then. You didn't really learn that much. But when high school rolled around, which was also coupled with lockdown here in Victoria, it definitely slowed things up a bit. So I reckon since then, maybe 10 or 15, but literally only a week, 10 days ago, we were in Yeppoon and I think I filmed 2 or 3 with the old boy. So there'll be a few more to come. Very
good. Now you said you finished school. Your dad's got no excuse not to take you out filming every week then.
Yeah, yep, that's it. But I think it's actually the opposite. He's got no excuse not to come fishing with me. I'm the one that's got to push him to go fishing these days.
Very good. What's on the agenda for the rest of the year then, Jed? Have you got any big trips planned? Lots of filming?
Got a few more episodes to film for the end of the season, which would be good. Haven't really decided what yet, but probably do it based on whatever's going off throughout the country and try and do something cool that people really want to see. And then I believe mid-year going to America for a few weeks, chasing fish, going to ICAST, which would be pretty bloody cool.
Oh, that'd be epic. That'd be really exciting.
Yeah, go tick off some species that I haven't seen yet, which would be really sick, and then come back and probably, again, get the boat out and just see whatever bites happening around the southern coast.
And tell us, Jet, any South Australian species or trips that you guys are still looking to film for IFish in future seasons?
Haven't planned anything, but I'm extremely keen on catching a big sambo. I've never caught one, and I think I want to bring our boat over and do it in our boat, which would be pretty cool. But it's just a big mission getting over there in general, let alone pushing out wide to find them. But that's probably the one that I really want to try and do.
Oh, if you need a couple of deckies, you know where to look.
Yeah, exactly right. I'll be calling.
Very good, Jet, mate. All the best for the rest of the year. Thanks for coming on the show again and sharing what you've been up to recently. Have a great year, and we look forward to seeing everything that you're getting up to on IFish and all across your socials, mate.
No, thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate you having me on, and been good chat.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Dizzy, that bloke and his old man, the whole family, they make me jealous.
Oh, they do. Seriously, so good. Absolutely just love getting out there, and they do so well. They've obviously made an absolute livelihood out of it, and, Jet's keeping it in the family, I think it's fair to say.
Yep, it's a pretty good succession plan for the business.
Yeah, it sure is.
Because he's catching as many, if not more, fish than
where to find them.
The old boy.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Okay, very good, Rhodey. Let's get into our fishing report.
Rhodey and Diz have been out on the water to bring you the news about where they're biting. Now it's time for the fishing report.
Well, the barrels are still around.
Yeah, they had a bit of a hiatus, which I think was largely weather-related, that no one could get to that south side of KI to target them, Diz.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they're back with Fluorio charters getting into them.
Yep.
When was that? Probably end of last week.
Yep.
And Reef Encounters got into them too, off Marion Bay, so we're guessing they might have gone the long way around the bottom.
Yeah,
of KI, because I think the post said they were taking the boat out of the water in Adelaide.
Yeah, sounds like it. The way they sort of take it out, do their maintenance on it yearly, I guess. But, they know where to find them.
So I reckon they're south of KI, putting 2 and 2 together. That's certainly where they were the other week.
Yep, nice. And amazing fish. Just an amazing fish. Just really need to get ourselves out there and get around it, Rhodey.
Certainly do. Now, Diz, the other species that's going pretty hot at the moment is the Australian salmon.
Oh, yeah.
As we spoke about in our last episode with Trigger from the Australian Salmon Fishing Competition.
They're firing on the Eyre Peninsula.
They are, Dizzy. And the mystery weight this week was Greg Shepherd with a 3.8 kilo fish. Good fish.
Good fish.
But interestingly, you go the week before.
Yeah.
And Shane Roffey took out the weekly winner, mystery weight, for 0.483 kilos.
Oh!
So what does that tell you? That tells you any fish you catch gives you a sniff of winning a prize.
And that's what we said when we had Trigger on the show. There's just something for everyone down there.
So, yeah, I don't know how many fish are getting weighed in, but there's certainly some varied sizes, and that runs throughout the whole of winter, Diz.
I'll tell you where else you want to be locally if you're going to try and get onto some salmon this time of year. Is just wait for the wild weather and get around on the Port and Lunga jetty.
That's
place fires.
Obviously outside the zone of the salmon fishing competition.
Oh, I know, but we were talking about salmon fishing.
Ah, okay, fair
So I
enough.
was saying, that's why I said locally.
Yeah, okay.
It's something you wanted to do a bit closer to the Adelaide CBD area. Then Port Noarlunga is a little bit closer to travel than,
Nice.
say, Shringa.
Nice. South Coast of York's going well too
Yes.
for your salmon, as always. And that's good stuff. Dizzy, whiting?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're certainly not proving that like winter whiting are firing, but I've certainly heard a lot of reports. Plenty of people on York's having good sessions.
And North Haven, getting some fish by the sounds?
Yeah, North Haven, Semaphore.
I might suss the weather and take Riley out for a...
I would.
if he's one and a bit, not 1.5 yet,
Yeah.
can I catch 10 fish? Does he count as a human for the fisheries?
I don't know, good question, but I reckon you'll struggle your way to 5, mate. So don't worry about 10 till you get to 5. Maybe just, I don't know. Look at it. Like, you could probably, if the fisheries came, you could probably stick a rod in his hand.
He could hold a rod.
He'd take out someone's eyeball on the way.
He'd scare the fisheries officers off.
Very good. Good stuff, Rody. Well, that was a nice episode.
Dizzy, that episode had it all, I reckon.
It did. It really had something for everyone. Jet Reef, Jet Worsteling, just an amazing fisherman who's done it all, and he's going to keep doing it all. Great guest, good episode. Everyone knows where to find it, so download us wherever you get your podcasts.
And Dizzy, I'm going to get organised and do that tackle bag giveaway that we teased in the last episode.
Good stuff, Rody.
So I've got grand plans for how we're going to decide that winner, mate, and you're going to get a few laughs out of this one.
Can't wait, mate. I'm watching it closely.
All right, guys. See you later.
See ya.
Rody and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram, and you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.